Hello and welcome to Nero Hikes. Today I am going to show you some of the rain gear that I have used over the years. The first rain gear that I bought was a Coleman raincoat for like 20 bucks or something like that, and I don't know, it was okay for a little while, but it just one day it wet out and I just threw it away because it was pretty much a windbreaker. I mean, the first one I got, I actually washed it, and that ruined it, so I threw it away. The next one lasted probably a month or two, I think. But then, then I got this poncho from Teton Sports, and it was pretty good. I mean, I liked it because it was actually come with a backpack, and it worked as a rain cover for the backpack and a raincoat, and it's also a emergency shelter. You just you set it up and set your little trekking pole in the middle, but I used it mostly for a raincoat and a footprint for my tent because it kept the condensation down, and it worked pretty good. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the wind would blow it around and stuff like that. So I would take my pack and just put the belt around it, and then it worked pretty good for a raincoat, but then it wouldn't cover my pack, but which I wouldn't even worry about that. I use a liner inside of it. Then I got a Frog Tog, and it's just really just paper. They're real cheap, but the pants, they ripped in half the first day I used it. So I pretty much used it for a fire starter. And, it got little holes in it. I think I only used it like one time. And out of Pine Mountain. And I just really wasn't happy with it. And I used it one time in a rainstorm and it wet out, so I didn't really care for it. And then I got a Outdoor Research jacket. I don't remember what they called it. It was a cheaper version, but it looked real good, and it had pit zips and everything. But I used it one time to go to take out my trash out to the street in a rainstorm, and it was not seam sealed very well. They had it taped up and everything, but it wet. All the seams wet out, so I sent that back. And so I figured I'd try Columbia because they were relatively cheap. I think it was like 30 bucks, and I don't know what they call it, but it looked like it was cheap enough. I figured to try it, and it worked really good. I mean, I actually walked around when a hurricane was blowing through, and walked around the park, which is just got a track around it, and the track is a mile. So I probably walked maybe a half a mile or so in a downpour from a hurricane, and it worked good. And it's actually pretty light, and it had a liner in it, and I cut it out to make it lighter, but I've never really used it, but I know it works good, and it'll be a good backup. It's seam taped. It's nice. I mean, you can't beat it for the price. But this is what I used on the Pinhoti Trail. It's a Outdoor Research Gore-Tex raincoat. It's got these nice waterproof zippers, and I mean, I used it in mountains, and I went up one mountain. I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of cloudy when I started, and when I got up to the top, it was rainy and windy, and I put this thing on, and I mean, I was warm, and you know, I like a raincoat that keeps me dry. I know a lot of YouTubers will say, "Oh yeah, if you get a raincoat and you go hiking, you're gonna get wet, whether it's either sweating or you're gonna get wet from the water." And I mean, that may be true. I don't know. I mean, this thing, you know, I like a raincoat that keeps me dry. This one does real good, and that Columbia does. And when it was hot, it was warm out, I just didn't wear a shirt. I just wore my raincoat with no shirt underneath it. And if it was really hot, I just unzip it. I mean, I call it a belly zip. Most of them got pit zips. Mine has a belly zip. So if you see me walking around there with a raincoat and my belly sticking out, you know it's just a hot day. I'm not trying to impress anybody with my belly. But yeah, that's my raincoats, and figured I'd do a short video. Try to keep making videos, and I'm going to try to get out to Pine Mountain so I can do, maybe this weekend, do some videos out there. But and then I want to get back out to the Pinhoti and finish the Georgia side, because I just want to do it. I mean, the only reason I stopped is because I didn't have enough cash for the campsites and stuff. So I had to pay rent and all that, so I had to stop. But anyway, you know, be nice to each other, wear your mask, and love each other. All right. Nero out.